hang on, this is a Christian country after all. Why do we have Ramadan decorations up?
What's his name? Richard Dawkins, world's biggest atheist, apparently, is what I heard. He's a poster child of atheism. And I found what he had to say very, very interesting. Yeah. If a passage came to mind, actually, I know it's not linked, but it almost felt like, having the power of godliness but denying its power, to be honest. And I'm going to explain why.
The appearance.
Having the form
of godliness but denying its power.
King James. Jeez.
Now, the reason I'm saying that is because for those of you that are not aware,
Sorry.
Yeah, just.
Oh gosh.
Or did you want him to say Queen James? Okay, so the reason I'm saying that is because obviously in an interview recently, I think a week or so ago, in responding to the conversation they were having regarding Muslim who are moving mad in recent times, to be fair with you, Islam. He, in talking about Christianity, he was saying that he called himself a cultural Christian.
Cultural Christian, yes.
Say that he loves the cultural Christian. He loves carols. He loves hymns. And he would hate to see the churches and the cathedrals and the parishes if they were to disappear. And what he even said, that I feel at home with the Christian ethos, I think is what he said. Yeah. But he is then saying in the same breath, but he is not a believing Christian. He is saying that to him, there's a difference between being a cultural Christian and a believing Christian. So he's almost saying, not he's almost, but I understand him to be saying he wants everything that Christendom brings without the Christianity. I wanted you guys to help me understand what he's saying. I want to know your thoughts on what he's saying, because like I said, being a poster child of atheism, I would have expected him to be Christianity all out, or religion all out. But
that's a lot of people. It's not, I don't think he's singled out. Look at the world we live in. If a lot of public holidays are rooted in what you would call Christian foundations, and the majority of the world partake in those. Even people of different faiths partake in those occasions. Christmas, which is meant to be about the birth of Christ. You get primary schools doing the nativity play, this, that, and the other. So he's not alone in that. A lot of people want to partake in what I would call the fun bits of Christianity, in quotation marks, because obviously we know those things are not actually for Christians anyway. They want to partake in the fun bits of what they perceive to be Christianity, but not actually do the believing. But again, that's out of selfish desire, because if you look at the things that they gain from partaking in those things is about them. If you partake in Christmas, you're getting presents. If you partake in Easter, you're getting Easter eggs. So that there's a if you partake in Lent, you're losing weight, because you're giving up. Most people give up things like chocolate and alcohol, and in turn end up losing weight. So it's a lot of self-fulfilling stuff that make people feel good, either about themselves or other people make them feel good. So yes, there is a lot of Christians that are like your guy, that are cultural Christians, but I would say because of selfish desire, which is.
It could also be a matter of, and I'm probably going to surprise myself in saying this because the thought is not finished, but it could be a matter of the devil, in that the people are happy. No one can deny that the Western world is founded on Christian principles, right? Most countries where Christian
values.
Like the church. Remember, the church and the state were one.
Yeah,
it came to a point where they wanted to separate the church and the state. So civilization was built on Christian values, right? And a lot of that still permeates in
the
modern
laws,
society,
morals, that kind of thing.
Society. So yes, they can say, "Oh, we don't believe in God, we don't believe in higher power, whatever." But I think they're more comfortable having a Christian heritage than, let's say, an Islam heritage, because maybe, again, I'm going to surprise myself in saying this. Maybe the fear is that if Islam was to become a wildly accepted religion, maybe that would cause a shift in how devout people are. So people would actually maybe start actually being mega religious again. And obviously that's a kryptonite for atheists.
What you're saying,
the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, because at least with Christianity people can argue against it, debunk it, you can insult a Christian in their face and they'll say God bless you, at least they can play around with Christianity. But let's say if we woke up tomorrow and the UK was an Islam country, it would be probably resemble something
I think it's what we're always saying, that unfortunately Christians have been we've made ourselves to be labeled as very lax. There's a lot that we will tolerate, and a lot that we will take, and a lot that we won't defend. Whereas if you look at like a lot of Muslim countries, they are very strict on very, very strict, to the point where you'll be thrown in prison for half the stuff that us Christians tolerate.
And people like atheists would see those countries as denying people
human
rights, freedom of speech, liberty, and etc.
So the interesting thing is that,
so just before I come in, I think it's more a matter of they don't want the country becoming more Islam or more Hindu or more Sikh, as opposed to them actually caring that it's Christian. I think they don't want the alternative.
Okay, that's what I was going to come to, in the sense that if I was an atheist fighting for atheism, I would not find myself in a position where I'm saying that actually I am a cultural Christian. I would not find myself in a position of saying that it would bother me if the parishes were to disappear.
Why not?
Because from what you're saying,
you've got to remember what this guy, for him, he takes, when he says cultural Christian, he takes God completely out of that. The word Christian to him, the Christ in Christian that thing is not a thing. So but for him, the parish and the cathedral is part of culture, is part of heritage, is what it's the great architectures and the people that put that together that are the fascination. The carols and the Christmas is about the families coming together. It's about people showing kindness, and so there is nothing that person would equate to being of God in those celebrations or in those buildings or anything like that. So for them, it's part of being British, or part of
which is fine. I accept that, and I do believe that, yes, that's where it's coming from. But what it will still remain is that feeling that he enjoys is present because of what Christianity is. The sense of family over Christmas is because of the teaching of Bethlehem, Nazareth, and so on and so forth. The carols are because of that, for me, yes, but he is enjoying the benefits of that without the story. If the story hadn't been that wouldn't have existed. Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to say is that, would it not have been better for him to just say that, you know what, basically denounce Muslim, because we're not talking about this becoming a Muslim country. We're talking about, nor is he talking about it being a Christian country. We're talking about heritage. We're talking about the feeling.
Do you know why this whole thing was a discussion? Why?
Go on. You're about to tell me.
It's because of the Ramadan decorations that were being put up around London and other cities.
And the chaos that happened.
So the what?
Go on.
Did you say the chaos? Probably the chaos, yeah. So a discussion was sparked because people were, for lack of a better word, outraged, because it's like, hang on, this is a Christian country after all. Why do we have Ramadan decorations up? That's what started the conversation. So he's saying, no, we are a cultural Christian country and we enjoy that. Let's keep that. So let's not start adopting this Ramadan decorations, Diwali decorations, or whatnot.
For somebody,
I'm not saying it's making sense. I'm just saying his point is we are a cultural Christian country. Let's not start adopting these Ramadan things, these Diwali things, this whatever thing, because we're a cultural Christian country. That's his point. Whether it makes sense or not, I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. I think his point is more anti these other things, as opposed to
he's not trying to fight 10 gods now. Because he's not trying to fight 10 gods, because he's an atheist and one God is enough to disprove. Now we were trying to adopt the 11 other gods that are gonna come with Islam and Hinduism and Sikhism. He's like, no, one battle is enough.
No.
To be honest with you, the reason why I really liked this, or rather it came across my view and I felt it worth the discussion, is because, like I said, I view him, the world views him to be a very intelligent man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is very relied upon. You know, there are a lot of books that he's written that are referenced even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to lie to you, it felt like, for me, it's a contradictory statement that he was making. It felt like he was confused. It felt like someone saying that I want to be drunk, but I don't believe in wine that it can get you drunk. Does that make sense? It's like he wants to enjoy the benefits of what Christendom has brought to the culture, but denying Christianity.
Do you mean he knows that wine gets you drunk?
He doesn't believe that wine gets you drunk. He doesn't believe in wine, but he wants to be drunk.
I think it would be the other way around. I think it would be he wants to enjoy
Christian vibes, basically, of the cultural Christian vibes.
So let me. I understand what you're saying, and I don't know if his statement makes sense or not. But I think I can understand totally where he's coming from. So, for example, let's say you have a situation where for 5,000 years you have a religion, which in this case, you know, is Christianity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And during that time, they've built houses, hospitals, tall towers, or whatever. You come into the world and you're like, you know what? This religion makes no sense. This is a bunch of rubbish. Mm-hmm. Can you still not appreciate the tall towers and the hospitals and everything that thing has built? So just because you disagree with the, I guess, the ethos behind those actions, can you still not appreciate the things that it's brought?
I don't think so. I don't think you can. I mean, okay, yes, let me backtrack on that. Yes, you can, but I feel like if it comes to a question of, you know, left or right, I think you need to be clear on your position. You can't have the best of both worlds. So I'll give you an example. When we went to Egypt those many years ago, seeing that temple of their god or whatever, you know, I felt in awe of the building itself. Yeah. I felt I was like, wow. Yeah, it's a masterpiece. You're
admiring the handiwork.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you then came to me today and said that we're gonna tear this building down, I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna weep. I'm not gonna start saying, "Oh no."
You're not gonna cry about it, but the awe that you felt when you got there about the building, not necessarily about the gods or its purpose or anything. You're gonna be like, "Oh, that's a shame."
No, because why is it still standing?
What a beautiful building! All that work that would have gone into it. That might be your. It's not going to be. Oh, so where are they gonna put the gods or anything?
What if they're tearing it down to build the temple of Satan on it? Are you not going to say, I would rather have the pyramid?
No. I would say you can tear it down. I don't mind. But I don't want you to build
But we're talking about, this is the thing. We're talking about, we're going to tear this pyramid down to build the temple of Satan. Are you not saying, I would rather you leave the pyramid?
They are both as bad as each other because they're false gods.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, that's a house.
You know what?
That's a house fighting
That's
itself.
what I'm saying. That's fine. Me, I would say, I would rather you leave the pyramid there because I don't want you building the temple of Satan there. You'd
rather have the temple of Satan in the pyramid.
No.
I mean, if you're not going to do that conversation, let's go into understanding the theology and whatnot. We're looking on the surface here. So that's what I'm saying. Me, I'd rather say leave the pyramid as it is because I don't want the temple of Satan there. And that's what I'm understanding him to be doing.
For him, it's the lesser evil. To summarize.
What I think, they can just say it's an opinion. I'm not
say what you mean and mean what you say.
But that's what I think his mind is at. I would rather this than that.
Interesting. Fair enough. I mean, I didn't have a lot to say on that. I just wanted to pick your brains on it. So you've told me what you think about, what he said. Fair enough. You tried to help me understand what he was trying to say. I'm not buying it.
No one is selling anything.
You know what I mean?
No one's selling anything.
That's
fine.
I was interested.